Hey guys, today I wanted to jump on and share something that I experienced yesterday. And that was basically being so depressed that I couldn't get out of bed. And I feel very lucky that this is not an experience that I have very often, but I do have them, occasionally over the last, my lifetime. I guess most recently, end of last year, start of this year, there was basically 8 months where I was so depressed I couldn't get out of bed. And yesterday was the first time I've had that experience in many, many, many months. And so when I woke up, there was like this instant feeling of dread for being alive. And I know that's really, really dark, but I'm just being real about sort of what kind of went through my head. But it was just like this overpowering or this overwhelming feeling of dread and overwhelm for, I guess, to a reality of some things that I'm currently going through. And I just felt so depressed all day. I just could not get out of bed. And just the thought of having a shower or doing anything really just felt like the biggest effort that I just couldn't do it. And there were moments where I was like fear. I was like, oh God, like, is this going to be my life now? Am I just going to be experiencing this every morning? Is this me basically going back to those 8 months where I was so depressed and I couldn't get out of bed? And there were even moments when I had these fleeting thoughts of like, how can I help people like with stuff like this if I'm experiencing it myself? But I didn't latch onto those thoughts, because I know that when you're in these really low depressed states, this is the prime time that your ego just latches onto anything that feeds into that depression and anything that will justify feeling the way that you're feeling and make you feel even worse. So I didn't latch onto any of those thoughts. But there was just that deep feeling of dread that I experienced for the entire day, feeling like this is how I'm going to feel for, well, I didn't even know how long, because the last time this happened, it went on for 8 months. And the reason I want to share this is because I had that feeling that this is going to be something that's going to happen for a long time, where I just can't get out of bed. But I woke up this morning feeling amazing, like totally like it was a brand new day. I'm feeling optimistic and motivated and amazing. And it just really reinforced that, when we get into these really depressive states, like they don't have to last forever. Like if I had fed those thoughts that I was having in that moment of just really deep, dark depression, if I had fed those thoughts of telling myself, it's going to be like this forever, like this is my new life now, I'm just going to have to learn to deal with it, and then just continue to feed myself of more and more reasons why I should be depressed, like, oh, this is not working out, or I'm a bad person for these reasons, and all that kind of stuff. If I had continued to allow myself to go down that path of feeding those thoughts, then maybe it would have gone for days and months. But I didn't allow myself to sort of go through that. But I did, however, allow myself to just surrender to the fact that I was feeling depressed and I didn't want to get out of bed. I just surrendered to that and just kind of allowed that to happen. And I know in the past I would have made that wrong. I had such a massive resistance to depression and any kind of negativity. I just thought like the right thing to do was always be in a positive state all the time and just like push away anything that wasn't, high vibe. But, through the journey that I've been on, I've really learned how important it is for us to really sit in those moments of depression and just allow them to move through us. You've got to feel it to like let it go. And I've also come to realize that, when we do go through those bouts of really low lows and where we just can't get out of bed, it's a part of us that isn't us that's going through a death. And it's us basically mourning the death of these parts of ourselves that are no longer within alignment of who we're becoming. And so I feel like it's important for us to really allow ourselves to mourn those parts, to make space for us to step more into the people that we are becoming, we are growing into. And I really feel like that's what's happened. I feel like all of yesterday was a big letting go of parts of myself that is no longer in resonance. And today I actually feel like there's some kind of a rebirth that's happened, because I feel more of myself than I was for the days leading up to today. So I think it's really important for us to firstly not make, you know, those moments of really feeling really depressed wrong. Like, I feel like this is a part of life. And, you know, I think back to when I was thinking, like, how can I help other people if I'm going through this myself? I realized this qualifies me even more, because this means that I'm a human, and I'm so grateful that I have the ability to experience my emotions. Because for so many years, all I experienced was happiness, right? Like, because I only allowed positivity into my life. But, you know, I feel like the depths in which we allow ourselves to experience, you know, our shadow aspects is the heights in which I'm just going to close this window because this person's radio is quite loud. Okay. Yeah, so the depths that we allow ourselves to experience, the shadow aspects of ourselves, is also the heights that we can then experience those more heightened emotions. So I think the real key is to allow ourselves to experience it all. Allow ourselves to lean into those edges, to experience, you know, the lows of the lows, so we can experience the highs of the highs. It's all perfect, and it's all, you know, part of the human experience, and it's all beautiful. So I think that's all I really want to share today. If this is something that you can resonate with, I'd love for you to share, so that we all can feel that we're not alone. Like, when we do experience those really low lows where we can't get out of bed, we have no motivation to even have a shower. Like, that is just so normal. Like, it is just such a human experience. It's not wrong. If that's something that you experience, then congratulations, you're human. You can feel your emotions. So that's something to be celebrated, not something for you to wrong yourself over. Anyway, that's all for me today, guys. Hope you're having an amazing day, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.